Hey, welcome to this class, this IELTS class. It's IELTS writing, task 1. And today we're going to be looking at main body writing, main body 1 and main body 2. We're also going to review last class, which was introduction writing and overview writing. I'm here with John, Shahani, Esther, and Maddie, and a few others. If you guys can just all say hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Okay,
Hello.
so Andrea, what are we doing first in this class?
Review what we did yesterday.
Fantastic. And then I've made a mistake here. Is it main body 2 and main body 3 we're doing, guys?
Main body 1 and 2.
Good. What paragraph is main body 1? Can anyone tell me?
Paragraph 3.
It's paragraph 3. And what paragraph is, Esther, what paragraph is main body 2? Esther? I know she's in the canteen. John?
This is my first class. I could not be answered.
Don't worry. Okay, don't worry at all. Don't worry, it's fine. But me and Paul, we always try and, ask questions and involve you, okay? We don't want you to be bored. Okay, so we're going to review yesterday, then we're going to write some main body 1s and main body 2s. And inside that, I really want us to look at linkers. What linkers should you use? I want to look at what should we talk about. Very, very important. And I also want to look at detail and summary. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Let's just begin, though, with a review of yesterday. Here's the diagram from yesterday. All right? Does anyone remember the 3 tips I gave you from yesterday about writing your introduction?
Yes.
Sir,
Okay,
yes, sir.
Listen, Sally, you tell me one.
Turn to passive voice.
Use the passive voice. Okay, and we're going to look at that again in a second. Well, just quickly, Mr. Sally, what do we mean by the passive voice? If I say I ate an apple, can you put that into passive for me?
An
Apple was eaten.
The apple was eaten. Listen, Sally. Yeah, good. The apple was eaten. Passive. Okay, so we need to use the passive voice. The apple was eaten. Anuj, the passive voice for what?
The sentence, sir.
Which paragraph?
This one, I guess.
Which paragraph do we use the passive voice in, guys?
Introduction.
Paragraph. It's the introduction, so it's para 1, right? Introduction. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So when we say use the passive voice, what do we mean though? What is it specifically that we're putting into the passive? I'm going to ask that question to John now. I want to test John. John, what are we putting into the passive voice?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, it's this here. Can you see it?
Okay.
So we need to change this. This is in the active voice. And we're trying to paraphrase this in our first paragraph. So we change it into the passive voice. And I'm going to show you again today how to do that. Number 2, though, there was 3 tips. One is to use the passive voice. I'm going to ask Maddie, do you remember one of the tips from yesterday?
Use synonyms.
You to use synonyms. Good.
Give the key features or main features.
Good. But when we use synonyms, this is a big thing of mine. I always get really annoyed by this. We use synonyms, but not too
many.
Not too
Only
many.
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay. Easy ones. Don't use the difficult ones, because one of the biggest errors we always see in IELTS writing is misuse of synonyms, okay, using them incorrectly. The third thing, what was the third thing? I'm going to ask that question to someone else. Andrea, do you remember the third thing from yesterday?
Yes, to replace the order of the words.
We can replace.
I've changed the order.
Yeah, or change the order. It's really easy, isn't it? Can you give me an example?
Like if it says fruits and animals, we can say animals and fruits.
Yep. So you might say fruits and animals, and we would change that to animals and fruits. Okay. In our introductions, guys, we're trying to paraphrase the question. Just to be clear for anyone who's new, we're paraphrasing this. The way to do that is to use the passive voice, to use 2 or 3 synonyms, and to change the order of simple things like this. Okay. Now, last class we looked at this diagram, this one here. Can you just read this for me, please, Sophia? The diagram shows, Sophia.
The activities that people in Canada did in their leisure time in 2012 and 2013.
Okay. Now, Nissan Salah. Here it is again. It's the same, right? Nissan Salah, can you read that? It's the same thing, right?
Yes, the diagram shows the activities that people in Canada did their leisure time in 2012 and 2013.
Okay. And Shahani, what's the subject of this sentence?
The diagram
And the verb?
shows
Okay. And the object?
the whole activity until 2013.
Why is it so big? Can anyone tell me that? Andrea, why is this so big?
Because it's compound. It has.
It's called compound. It has more than one part, right? And that happens all the time in languages. You might say something like this: I went to the shop, right? In this case, what's the object of the sentence, everyone?
Shop.
The shop.
The object of the sentence is the shop.
Shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you might say the shop next to the railway, right? Railway. At 6 o'clock, that's when I went, okay, with my friend. Are there any verbs here, Andrea?
Went.
Are there any verbs in this bit here?
No.
No.
Right? And that's one of the ways to see that you're dealing with a compound object, right? There's no verbs, it's all one thing. This is really, really important in IELTS because we have to quickly change this sentence here into the passive here. Now the passive, let's get someone on the microphone. Maddie, do we start a passive sentence with the subject?
We started with the object, that will become the subject.
Exactly, right? This is a simple way of thinking about the passive. Actually, the passive is really complicated. But basically, usually we start with the object and we put the subject at the end. Nissan Salah, where does the verb go?
In the middle.
Okay, but we have to change the verb. We can't just say shows, can we, Nissan Salah? We have to say...
Are shown. Or is shown.
In this case, are shown, is or are shown. Good. Okay, now last class we did this sentence. Sophia, actually you weren't in class. Who wants to try and do this sentence for me now, just to say it? Anyone? Give me the passive here.
Can I?
Yeah, go on, Shahani.
Okay. I'll include the synonyms. Is it okay?
Yep.
Okay. The activities that Canadian people did in their free time in 2012 and 2013 are illustrated by the bar graph.
Okay, good. Right, so does everyone see what she's done there? She's taken this, she put in some synonyms as well, and she also changed the order, but she's put these in here, right? Anyone, any questions about this before I move on from this review? Any questions? Good. Do you all feel confident about this, more or less? Yes, Alan.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, guys. Do you all feel confident?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I have one question?
Oh, yeah, good
please?
question. That's what I want. Yeah.
So basically, this is the first place where I see this kind of approach. In all the other places, they will just do like synonyms, but they wouldn't change it to passive.
Exactly.
Is this giving us an extra point, or what's the role of this?
Well, it will help you, but that's a great question. One of the reasons I tell you people to do this is I have been teaching IELTS online to nurses and professionals for about 3 or 4 years, okay? So I've been doing this a long time. Why do I suggest the passive? Well, it's because of synonyms, okay? Number one error people make is they spend too long on their intro and they try to use too many synonyms. They try to use so many synonyms because, why are they trying to use so many synonyms? Can anyone tell me?
They keep same verbal time and
I'm
they
trying to do
plus
paraphrase, but in order to do that, they change a lot of synonyms.
Okay, both two good answers there, yeah? They want to use a lot of synonyms because they are trying to paraphrase, right? But the problem is, Maddie and others, this causes loads of errors and it takes loads of time to think, oh, what's a good synonym for this? How can I say this? Oh, right? You're wasting time. Instead, change the grammar. It's easier. Once you practice, it's actually easier and faster. It is easier and faster. Okay, so we're all going to practice now the same thing. Here is a new diagram. Let's get someone to read this for me, please. Nissan Sala, can you read the new title?
Yes, sir. The diagram shows transport preference among young people from different countries.
And let's quickly analyze this. Now, Maddie, where's the subject of the sentence here, Maddie? Subject.
the diagram is the subject.
Good.
Shows is the verb.
Shows us the verb. John, where's the object?
Transport preferences
Right.
among young people from different countries.
So to change it into passive, it's not that hard. We just need to start off with, right, this into here. Oops, another technical problem today. We just need to put this into here, right? And this subject goes at the end. So I want you guys to get a pen and paper. This is not a real pen. Get a pen and paper and write me the introduction to this task 1 using the passive voice. And I want you to try and do it as fast as you can, okay? I'll give you like 1 or 2 minutes. You can see it here. Off you go. Write down on a piece of paper your introduction to this essay. I'm going to be asking you guys to read out your sentences, just like last class, and I'll be giving you instant feedback. Okay? You got about 1 more minute. When you've finished writing, you can type in the chat box. Finished. It's nice to see some of my my long-time students doing this so fast. Listen, Salah, Sophia, John. Oh, John's done it pretty fast, and he's new.
I thought it, but I can't write it.
Ah, well, that's okay. You can just say it to me. Okay, brilliant. So was that Andrea or Maddie? I couldn't see.
Maddie.
Maddie, go on.
Right. So the transports. The favorite transport ways among people in different countries are illustrated in the diagram below. I know below I shouldn't include, but it sounds just right.
Illustrated in. Okay, illustrated in. I suppose we put this here in the diagram. Okay, in the diagram. Okay, so I'll give you some feedback on this, Manny. So first thing is, what type of diagram is this? Let's say what type it really is.
Line graph.
It's not a line graph.
It's a bar graph.
Bar graph.
So Maddie, there's your first synonym, synonym 1, okay? Did she use the same verb, guys?
No.
No, she used illustrator. So Maddie, that's synonym 2. You've got 2 synonyms, very nice. And you've changed the grammar of the sentence, okay? Now your paraphrase here, that's not correct. Favorite transport ways, that's wrong, okay? So this is why this is exactly why we use this technique. You don't need to do very much. You don't need to try and change everything. Just use the same thing, right? And Maddie, let's just change one word here, just one. Maddie, could you give me one?
Transportation methods?
Transportation,
means
yeah.
of transport or means of transport.
Ooh, but it's preferences because that means what they like. That's fine. You can say transportation. So look, she's got 3 synonyms. She's changed it to passive. She doesn't need to do anything else in her exam. This is a classic mistake. You waste loads of time on this. This is fine. Maddie, in your exam, do this. And now you're on to paragraph 2. You've finished. Okay? Nissan Salah, can I hear yours?
Yes, sir. The modes of transport that young people prefer in 4 different countries are illustrated by the bar chart.
Very nice. Shahani, can I hear yours?
The transport preferences among young individuals from different countries are illustrated by the bar graph.
Fantastic. And Andrea, can I hear yours?
The preferences that teenagers from 4 countries have on transport modes are illustrated by the bar graph.
Okay, almost perfect. Now I'm asking these people because they're very experienced, very, very good writers. There was one error there, Andrea, and it was teenagers. Young people, that can be anything from like...
Yeah, I was not sure, but I wanted to check.
Exactly. But again, same point, guys, synonyms, right? That's where the errors always come with the synonyms. Okay, brilliant Shahani, brilliant Nissan Salah, excellent Andrea. Can I have something from Anuj, please?
Yes, sir. Transport preferences among new generation from different regions are shown in the bar chart.
Okay, fantastic. That sounded good. Just say that one more time. Sorry, it was cutting out.
The first line, should I say, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah, transport preferences among new generation from different regions are shown in the bar chart.
So you've got some issues with this, but you're doing this fine. Don't say are shown, you want to say are illustrated, right? It's a good synonym. Shanthi, I haven't really said hello to you, Shanthi. If you want to try this, you're welcome to.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, I have written like young people using types of transport in different countries are illustrated in the bar chart.
Are illustrated, young people using... it's not, again, we need to work on your paraphrase, but you've got the passive right? But you're making mistakes with synonyms. Too many here. You see what I mean? It's the same thing. All of you who have got problems, you're trying to use too many synonyms. Here, don't do it. You just need one. Okay? Sophia, can I hear yours? I know this will be good.
Transport choices among young people from 4 different countries are illustrated by the given bar chart.
Very good. And again, I know I'm going to get something good from Sophia because she's very experienced. Okay. So look, we'll practice this again many times, but these are the key things, right? Don't forget, use the passive. Don't use too many synonyms. Change the order of the thing where possible. Now, sorry.
Quick question. Can we say point out instead of shown? Pointed out.
No, you can't say that. Okay. Oh, that reminds me, Maddie, you can't say below either. Why can we not say below, guys?
Because I won't have it below.
Yeah, the person won't see it like that. It's a report to your boss, right? He can't see the diagram. Okay, so that was the intro. We've done a little bit of review, okay? But I now want to go back to what we were doing yesterday, which is people in Canada. Okay, so it's the same diagram as yesterday. Here it is, okay? We did our introduction. We did a bit of a review of this. Also, just quickly remind me, guys, This was my really bad overview. Why was it so bad, Miss Ansela? Give me one reason why.
There are so many errors. Some
Yeah, like
grammar errors are there. And
grammar, like it's not quickly, is it? It's a quick glance. Good. And
yes.
it's not worthy, it's worth.
Worthy.
Okay.
And wrong paraphrasing.
Wrong paraphrasing. Good. Shahani, can you give me another problem?
There's there should be no number when
no numbers
about
here.
Yeah.
Good. And just reviewing, guys. What else? What is a problem? What's the problem here? Can anyone tell me? John or Sophia?
Do not copy the exact category name.
Yeah. Try to think about, and this is going to help you now. As yeah. Oh, there's no the linkers are bad, but the person is just copying the diagram, right? We want to paraphrase. Try to think about, this is a very, very useful thing to do in your exam. Try to think about what is the diagram actually talking about? What's it actually saying, right? And last class I asked you, what does this actually mean? Maybe Andrea, you can tell me. What are they talking about here?
Other activities.
Right, which means what? Other activities for?
Which is not listed.
Is it just any activity?
In the bar chart.
Yeah, but is it any activity? It's other activities for
Leisure.
Leisure time.
Yeah, leisure.
So when you're paraphrasing, just think, okay, how can I say that they have other activities that they do when they are not working? Something like that. Okay, so we're now going to move on to main body 1, which is here, and main body 2. Okay, and I'm just trying to think now, if you think about the start of class, sorry the screen is going to move so fast. At the start of class, I said I wanted to look at 3 different things. Here they are: linkers, what to talk about, and detail and summary. Now, when it comes to linkers, you can use your own linkers, but I'm going to give you some that I think are the best. These are the best that I've seen. I've been teaching, as I said, I've been teaching for IELTS for about 3 or 4 years. These are the ones, I'll be honest, I like these the most. But I like them so much because they, main body 2, not 3. I like them so much because they are very high level, idiomatic, natural sounding linking phrases. So Shahani, can you tell me what is that phrase that I always say to use at the start of main body 1?
Yes. Turning to the details.
Turning to the details. What does that mean, Maddie, turning to the details?
Give more details from what you decided to write an overview.
Yeah, good. Turning to the actual detail. Good. Sophia, what can I say in main body 2? What's a good linker there?
When we use turning to the details in the main body paragraph, maybe second one we can say the what are the things specifically, like turning to these things, or looking more closely to the details of this particular things.
Yeah, so what she's saying is sometimes you put in here whatever you want to talk about here, right? So I might say turning to the least popular. John, what's this diagram about again?
About what Canadians want to do in their leisure time.
Yeah, so turn to the least popular activities, right? Leisure activities, right? You might say something like that, guys. Turn to the least popular leisure activities. Nissan, do you have any other phrases that we can use in main body 2?
Looking closely at the details.
Well, we can do that here, can't we? Looking closely at the details. I don't think we can put it here, can we, Nissan? Because it's paragraph.
Place another significant feature.
Well, this is the second bit. Now, there's another little bit of the sentences that I want to see in my essays. I'm going to ask you all to write this essay after this class, okay? Say that again. Was that you, Shahani?
Yes.
One.
Another significant feature.
We'll put this here. Another significant feature of, can anyone tell me?
Bar graph or the diagram.
Of the, okay. And listen, Sally, what can we say here? Turn to the details. One
of the main features of the diagram is the fact that.
Okay. Oops.
What about
Is the fact that.
Two?
Yes, go on.
We say by contrast, the least, blah, blah, blah.
So you might, if there is a contrast, what does contrast mean?
Opposition?
Opposition, yeah. So if there is a contrast, yes, that's a great linker to use. Okay, but
I was thinking in the main to use the most the most chosen activities and the least chosen.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. In this one, it's fairly easy because you can kind of talk about the most, which would be this and this, I guess, right? And then you can kind of talk about the least here. Yeah, I agree. In that case, you could say by contrast, something like that. Good. You could even say by contrast, turning to the, Maddie, turning to the
least favored activities.
Yeah, something like that.
Or leisure time.
Good. Okay, now I'm just going to ask you some questions, guys, about these phrases here. One of the main features of the diagram is the fact that. You can also say something like, what's another synonym for main?
Key detail?
Key. You could say details, of the diagram is. Why do I want to see these phrases? Why are these kind of phrases good? Anuj.
Important.
I'll just tell Anuj, ask Anuj. Why is this phrase good? This one.
So we have shown the main features, actually fact.
Main features? Why is main features an important thing in IELTS Task 1? Sophia. Microphones off, please, guys. Sophia, why is that so? I think that's really important for your task achievement. Why?
Because the question asked about that.
You're answering the question, aren't you, if you say something like that, aren't you? Here. Good. You could also say something like another important comparison is, I suppose. But the important thing is, with these phrases is, let me ask this question to Shanti. Shanti, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
After the word that,
okay.
What can I say?
The diagram.
After the word that here, grammatically, what can I say after that?
About the leisure activities.
In this case, yeah. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to grammar, this is. Does anyone know what this type of word is? It's a relative. Anyone? You should know this grammar. Come on, guys.
Pronoun.
It's a relative.
Pronoun.
It's a relative pronoun, and it's a relative clause. So after this, you can say anything, subject, verb, object, anything you like. You could say, give me a sentence. Maddie, give me any sentence in the world. Anything. What are you doing right now? I am
eating.
I am eating, right?
Yes.
Now, it doesn't make any sense, but grammatically, it's got a subject.
Correct, yeah.
Right? So what I'm saying to you guys is any sentence can come next. So it's easy for you to learn this. I'm not saying that you don't have to think in the exam. You do have to think very, very hard. But you don't have to think about this.
As far as I know, after that would be the main subject, so whatever follows should be about whatever you choose to
Exactly.
after
It should be about this, yeah. But you can have a subject, a verb, and an object. You can say anything you want, right? So guys, you should study this and you should learn these phrases here. That's the first thing I want to tell you today, okay? Now what we're going to do in this class is we're going to write a main body 1, okay? And maybe a little bit of a main body 2. And then I'm going to tell you guys you can write the whole essay for me. the whole thing, to practice my techniques. Okay, free. I'll mark the essay completely free, no charges or anything. Now, if we look at, what do I want to tell you? There was one other thing, wasn't there? Let me just remind myself. We've done linkers. I want to talk a little bit about this before we start writing. In a general sense, what should we always talk about? Let me ask Shahani. I can't talk about everything, can I?
No, you can't. You have to talk about the most significant change on the data you have, or the diagram, like the highest or the lowest.
Key features. Key features, good. And then what do we do with the rest?
You can do a summary type, not the detailed type of this essay.
Yeah.
But you can summarize if they're the same.
Good. And that just means, Sophia once said this to me, and I agree with you. That just means put them together, doesn't it, Sophia?
Yes.
So could you give me an example of this?
Like if there are 2-3 features,
yeah,
any 2 or 3, like
yeah.
For example, if it talks about the taste and color, when it comes to the taste and color of this particular.
Okay. So let's do countries then. When it comes to Germany and Japan, right? We don't have time to do them specifically. So what we're going to say?
Then the details. Or
all right, who can finish that sentence in a summary sort of way? We kind of need some numbers, but we don't need all the numbers. Shanthi, do you want to try?
No, I have a doubt. Can we put like a rest of the things?
You can't say rest of. Oh, I see what you mean. You could say when it comes to the
Amazing, putting them
the remaining countries, something like that. You can be clever with the way you refer to it. Yeah. Okay. But I'm not going to go into too much detail on this. It's just very, very important that when you're writing, you realize you can't talk about everything. You can't. So you've got to talk about key features, and for the other things, try to summarize by putting them together. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to show you this. Can everyone see this here? Can you see this diagram?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is my beginning of main body 1. Let's have someone read this. John, can you just read this for us?
Turning to the details,
Yep.
One key feature of the diagram is the fact that 2012 approximately 37% of Canadians spent their time on other unlisted activities, while in 2013, this number increased to around 38%.
Okay, so where's my paraphrase of this? Can anyone in the class tell me? How did I paraphrase that?
Other unlisted activities.
On other unlisted activities.
So that was my paraphrase. That's what I thought. And what am I talking about here? I'm just talking about this, aren't I?
Yes.
Do you agree, guys? Yeah?
Yes.
So I think in this paragraph, we've already had the answer of what else we need to talk about. What other things do we need to talk about, guys? In the main body 1.
I have a question about this sentence.
Watching TV. Someone has a question. Go on.
It's not wrong if we don't mention free time or leisure time, because it said their time. It's like we talk about their whole time.
Yeah, no, it is wrong. That's my accuracy. There, you're quite right, Andrea. Do you see what she's saying, guys? I've made a mistake here, an important one. It's not all their time.
Task achievement.
So task achievement, she's right. It's so easy to make a mistake. That's really, really good. So free time, all right? I think we should talk about watching TV and reading. And what else, guys? One more.
Spending time
with family.
Okay, and why are we doing that, Maddie? You already told us. Why?
Because they were the highest.
They're kind of the biggest, aren't they? The highest or the most, something like that. Okay, so we want to talk about them all. Now, I want to talk about this one in detail. watching TV. And I'm going to stop talking, and this is my challenge to you. Can you write me a sentence about watching TV? Okay? Just that one. And I'm going to have that as the second sentence in my essay. I'll give you all about 2 minutes. All right? Just imagine you're in the exam, write it down on a piece of paper. Again, I'll just say, just like Esther, who's done, that's excellent. Just tell me when you finished by typing into the chat box. Wait a second. Sorry, Esther, that was you 20 minutes ago. Sorry. Shahani, John, finished?
I finished.
Okay, fantastic. We'll give people a little bit more time and then we'll go through some of your sentences. I want to give Anuj a bit of time and some of the newer people. Anuj isn't new, but just anyone who's new. John, Maddie. Okay. 30 more seconds. Anuj is finished. Okay. All right. Let's start off with someone like John. I'd like to hear your sentence here, John. Just give me 1 second. Get my typing ready. John?
Okay.
Go on.
Watching TV accounts for around 27% of what Canadians do in their free time in 2012.
So watching TV accounts. Here's a problem, John, isn't it? Got to be careful.
Yeah.
So what's the past tense of accounts?
Oh, okay. Accounted.
Yeah, good man. All right. Say that one more time. Watching TV.
Watching TV accounted for around 27% of what Canadians do in their free time.
Yeah.
In 2012.
Good man. So that one's done.
And it significantly increased to almost 30% in 2013.
Okay, wait a second. 27%. That's not 27. I think you've got your numbers wrong, John. This is almost 30 in 2012, right?
In 2012. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So again, task achievement, though, it's really, really important. Got to get those numbers right. I like that, though. That's nice. Okay, your speaking is very good, John. Your grammar is excellent. Like so many.
Thank you.
You're from the Philippines, right?
Yes.
Like so many Filipinos, you have really, really good spoken grammar. Okay, let's try another amazing Filipino, Shahani.
Yes. Here it goes. Another important aspect of the diagram is the fact that people in Canada mostly spent their pastime watching TV, with approximately 29% in 2012 and just over 25% in 2013.
Excellent, excellent. So you said their past time, though. Shani,
Yeah.
that was a brilliant, brilliant sentence, but you did say past time. Spent their past time. What
Yes.
does she mean here? I know that a pastime is a hobby. That means hobby, but it doesn't work here. What does she need here, guys?
Free time.
Free or leisure, spare, free.
Spare time. Yeah.
Now, did you notice what was the difference between John? If you remember, if you were listening to Shahani, both of your sentences were excellent, but she started hers in a different way. Do you remember how she did it?
Did she start with a date?
She said no. She said another.
Okay, okay.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Can anyone tell me what she said? Did anyone remember it? Another key important feature of the. Did she say diagram or bar chart?
Diagram. I said diagram.
That's fine. That's fine. So again, she's getting her task achievement. She's telling the reader that, hey, I'm answering your question. I'm giving you a key feature. One key feature is this. It's the second highest. All right. So that's really, really good. Mr. Salah, can I hear yours, please?
Yes, sir. Additionally, watching TV was the second highest leisure activity in both in 2012 and 2013, with just under 30% and around 25% respectively.
Respectively, nice. And the grammar was fantastic. Excellent. Maddie, can I hear yours?
Mine is a bit different. I don't know if it's right.
Go for it. I'll tell you.
By contrast, the number of respondents choosing to watch TV in their spare time decreased by a sixth from 2012 to 2013.
Ooh. Did you say increased by a sixth?
Decreased by a sixth. Yeah.
Okay, so pronunciation, sixth. Decreased by, what are you saying, 6 here?
No, a sixth of the percentage. Yeah.
Okay, but I don't think is that a sixth? I guess. Okay, that's an interesting way to do it, using the maths like that. I would like to see you try to put in some of the percentages in as well, though, here. This is good, though. I like that. This is good.
I thought to do something different and not use percentage for the whole thing, otherwise it would be like repetitive.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually good to try new things as long as you get it accurate. And in this case, you did. It's actually really, really good. I have a problem with this by contrast, though. It's a nice linker. But is it really a contrast?
I was thinking the one was increasing. Yeah, the other.
Decreasing.
And I said this one decreased. So that one increased, this one decreased.
Okay, in that case, my feedback is very, very good. Okay, I'm looking forward to reading your essay. That sounds excellent. All right. The grammar was good. There was no errors.
Actually, my written part is the only one that I'm failing every single time, and I did it like 11 times.
Okay, well, guys, as I say, at the end of this class, you can all send me your essays, and I'm going to give you feedback. I'll give you some corrections and that kind of thing. Does anyone else want to try a sentence? Anuj?
Yes, sir.
Go on.
Yeah. In addition to this, watching TV for Canadian people in 2012 was approximately 29%, but in 2013, this has decreased to 26%.
Okay, grammar, really, really nice. Excellent grammar. There wasn't one error. Task achievement problem, though, right? It's not the number of Canadian people watching TV. You made the same mistake I made.
Yes.
Right? It's in their free time. And if you don't say that, it sounds weird. Okay? So that's my
feedback. Actually, it's only
the
respondents, not all the people.
Yeah, I suppose you could even be really annoying, couldn't you, and say it's only the people who responded to the thing. So it's very important to track this, Anuj, yeah? Your grammar, though, spot on. Really nice grammar. All right? Let's try someone else.
Thank you, sir.
Shanti, please. Shanti?
Sorry, I didn't written, sir. I'm new here.
It's
I'm
okay.
just analyzing.
Please,
But I
yeah.
have a doubt. Can we say, as it is a second highest, can we say as following this after full
Following
stop? That
this.
is, following this, watching TV is the
Yeah,
second
that would be
highest.
that would be an interesting linker. Following this,
Watching
but the
TV
problem is that you have to get the correct grammar now. I would say the second
highest.
most.
Okay.
It's well, you can say highest, but again, think about what this is talking about. If you say highest, you're talking about the diagram. But what is this? What is this actually? What does it mean?
Percentage.
It's not about the highest, is it?
Yeah.
It's about the most popular what?
Ah, yeah, most popular.
Popular what?
Watching TV. Most
No.
popular activity during leisure time.
Yeah, right. So you've always got to keep in your mind, right, what the reality is, what it actually means, and that will help you to paraphrase, right? But you can say following this. That's nice. Okay.
You can say highest percentage.
You can say the highest percentage as well, the second highest percentage, but then you would have to say of what, wouldn't you? Highest percentage.
Of people favoring.
Of people.
Sparing time.
People, yeah, what do we say now? People's
choosing watching TV as their leisure time.
Yeah, nice. People choosing to watch TV in their leisure time. Nice, right? Good. Okay, so look, these first two sentences, the ones that you've been practicing and the ones that we've been looking at here, they're kind of like in detail, aren't they? That's detail. But remember Sophia said, I was asking Sophia, what do you do when you don't have enough time to write about everything? Do you guys remember?
You just write about the main things.
We need to put it together. Is that what you're saying? Say that again. One more time.
We have to combine the features and
Yeah. So here's a good example. I think combine these, right? That means we need to give some detail, but not all, right? We need to be accurate. We can't say something that isn't true, right? But we don't need to give every single number. How many numbers would we have to give if we gave all the detail here?
We can just mention that
We'd have to give 1 second. So we'd have to give one number for this one here, one number for this, one number. That's 4 numbers. We don't have the time.
we can only say that also the reading increased and spending time stayed the same.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying, guys. When you're doing your task ones, you have to, sometimes you give detail, right? Sometimes you give summary. In this case, we've gone for detail here and detail here. But now we're going to do summary. So I'm going to stop talking. This is the last thing we're going to do in the class. Can you summarize these two? That means don't give me every single number, but say something about them that is accurate and true. Notice, just before I stop, these are very similar, aren't they? They're almost the same.
We can add the reading with the other and saying also increased, and at the end, after at the end of the phrase, we just say that spending time with family just stay the same, and that's it.
Yeah.
No numbers at all.
Let's try it now. Let's try it now, okay? That's a good idea, but I would try to mention at least that there's something about the size of it, but it doesn't have to be exact, okay? So you could say stay the same, Maddie, but try to give the reader a sense that it stayed the same around here, more or less here, yeah? Okay, guys, you have, let's say 2 minutes again. This is the last thing in the class. Write me a sentence that summarizes reading and spending time with family. Put them together in one sentence. Off you go. 2 minutes starting now. Fantastic. So we've got someone done. Andrea is typed in. That's really nice. John's done. If you're really fast at typing, you're welcome to put it into the chat box, and I'll give you feedback that way if you're really fast. But it's also listen to me analyzing other people's sentences, and you can learn lots just by listening to my feedback for other people as well. So don't spend all your time just writing your own one. Okay. All right. So I would say that has been exactly 2 minutes. And let's start off with Nissan Salah. I think I forgot you in the last one, Nissan Salah. So if we start off with you. What did I?
So when it comes to reading and spending time with family,
when it comes, I like that, to reading and spending time with family, comma, yeah.
Comma, both free time activities accounted for 20 to 25% percentage of Canadians in both years.
Yeah. Okay. So say that one more. Is that accurate? Oh, one more time. Let me think. That sounded wrong. One more time.
When it comes to reading and spending time with family, both free time activities accounted for 20 to 25% percentage of Canadians in both years. Comma, although reading increased by nearly 3% in 2013.
Wow, that's really nice. I would just say one little piece of feedback for you. Say between.
Okay.
It just sounds nicer. Okay, that was brilliant, Mr. Salah. Fantastic, fantastic. I've got no feedback. That's exactly what I want. Notice how someone like John and people like Nissan Salah using this phrase is very, very useful when you're talking about percentages. Let's hear Shahani's sentence, please.
Yes. So, in addition, reading and spending time with family revealed roughly between 20 to just below 25% of how they spend their free time in both years.
Again, the grammar's good, but I don't know if that's it. What do we think, guys? Is that accurate? Say that one more time.
Yeah. In addition, reading and spending time with family revealed roughly between 20 to just below 25% of how they spend their free time in both years.
Okay, so the problem is with this verb reveal. Okay, so the meaning doesn't really map onto this. You're not telling me that you need to be more. What you're saying does not mean that these people did this in their leisure time. It means something else. Okay, just try that. Try again. Okay. In terms of the grammar, it's fine. Go on. Who's next?
I will.
Sophia, go on.
Yes. Although there were insignificant difference in the percentage of people spending their leisure time with their family in both the year, the number of people engaged with reading rose to almost 25% in 2013 from approximately 25% in 2012.
Good. Again, that's really, really nice, Sophia. You just need to give me a sense of the size of this. You didn't really tell me, right? Can you say also that they're similar?
Although there were significant difference.
Yeah, you need to change that just to tell me that it's approximately this, okay? But apart from that, that was really, really nice. Let me hear someone else, please. Maddie, could you read yours out? No, Maddie. What about John?
Sure, I can read it.
Go
One
on.
second. So I already typed it to you. Reading shown a similar growth in the percentage of people favoring it in their free time as the other activities, while spending time with family stayed the same at roughly 23%.
Okay, not too bad. We need reading. We don't want shown because that's verb 3. We just want verb 2 here. Maddie, what's verb 2? Showed. Okay, so reading showed a similar growth in the percentage of people. I like that, favoring it. Percentage of people, that's really nice. That's good. But again, similar problem to Sophia, right? When you say this, I need to have some sense of its size. There's no idea at all about its size, right? So you could just change that slightly. That's my feedback. Very, very good sentence, though. Sophia's is very, very good. Anuj, can I hear yours? You got to be quick on this, Anuj. All right.
Sir, please show the picture diagram once. Please
John. All right. Yep. John.
Yeah.
Can you read yours for me, please?
Okay. Reading and spending time with family ranged from 20 to 25% of their activity preferences in their spare time, both for the years 2012 and 2013.
Good. So just to finish this class, you can watch this again. And
Sir,
yes.
You forgot about me.
Oh, go on then. One last one.
So regarding people who spent their spare time reading and with their families, the percentages for both categories stayed between 20% and 25%.
25.
However, 25%. However, the figures for reading witnessed a slight increase in the period given, while the figures for the other category remained the same.
Nice. Really, really nice. Okay. So here's my feedback for that. It's very, very simple. The best ones were John, Nissan Salah, and Andrea. Reason? They use this word both. Both. Right? Whereas Sophia and Maddie, very good sentences, but for me, the first clause didn't give me an idea of the size of it. But if you say they are both between blah and blah, like Nissan Salah did, it works really nicely. Nissan Salah, could you just read your sentence one more time? Don't know if we lost Nissan Salah. Nissan Salah, could you read that sentence one more time? Oh, we've lost her. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to say goodbye to you guys. People are starting to leave now because I've run over by about 5 minutes. Hope it was useful today. Thank you very much.
Yes, it was.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Take 5 minutes, and if you want to come back well, you can stay here if you want to do the speaking club, which we do every day after class. But I think I'll say goodbye now, and I'll see you maybe in 5 minutes. Don't forget, you can write this essay for me today, right? So write your essay, email it to me at elaine.wenham@ttmhealthcare.com. All right. I'll put that email address into the chat box as well. So if anyone needs to just get in contact. Don't forget, what we try and do in this class, in this school, is we give you, it's not a bunch of videos. You can, if you ever have a question, just contact us, ask us, okay? Any questions?
Sorry, sir, there was internet connection.
No problem.
Internet error.
I was just saying goodbye. Guys, thank you very, very much. I look forward to reading your essays soon, okay?
Okay, sir, do we
Bye,
have speaking club now?
We do, sir.
Okay, sir. I'll attend it, okay?